Hey, what's up, you guys? So today we're talking business. We are talking business relationships. And whether it's your business or career, if you're really trying to level up, if you're really trying to achieve your career or business hopes, dreams, those big things that you want to do, it's going to require you to build relationships and to successfully build relationships in order for you to be able to get to the next level. We can't do this stuff on our own, right? Whether it's trying to promote or trying to get a promotion in business or in our career, or whether it's trying to level up and scale our business, it's going to be dependent on you building healthy relationships. And I don't know about you, but there's been times in my life where I have made the wrong decision on who I was building a business relationship with that has come back to bite me in a bad way. And so we're going to be talking about building successful business relationships in today's episode. Again, my name is Dr. Brad, performance coach for men. I help high achieving men be able to win in their fitness, family life, and faith so that they can level up in their work and life. And this is Elite Performance with Dr. Brad podcast. I'm relaxed today. So if you're watching this on live, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just in a t-shirt today, man. Usually I'm doing my podcast post work, so I'm looking all professional. I got the, sometimes I got the suit, but I usually have a button-up shirt. Today I'm just chilling and relaxing because didn't have a lot of procedures in the clinic today. So I'm just kind of chilling. But I want to, as always, I want to share some value with you today. And again, just make sure you share this information with somebody. All right. And if you're looking to watch it, I think probably the best place to watch this is going to be on YouTube. But anyway, we are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, all the things. So the reason this topic is so important is because recently there's been a lot that's going on in my life when it comes to business, when it comes to my coaching business, when it comes to my medical practice, and a lot of exciting things. And those things that are advancing in these areas, and also in some moves that I'm making in terms of my wealth building, right? The finances. All of the things that are happening and that are moving forward in those areas of my life, in business and career, in my, building financial wealth, all has to do with relationships. As a matter of fact, none of what's happening in my life in terms of it advancing would not happen had it not been for the relationships that I've built over time. And so as I was thinking about this, I was like, man, what can I talk to you guys about this week? And typically it's week to week because I'm telling you what's happening in my week, and kind of it's interesting. I almost have themes for the week, like what's happening in this week. And what I've noticed is that for the last several days, it's been about relationships. That some of this stuff that's popping off is literally a phone call that I'll just receive and be like, hey, yo, B, I got something. Or, hey, Dr. Brad, like, do you want to collaborate? Or Dr. Ballard, we've got this going on in clinic. Can we get some insight, or whatever the case may be? So because there's been some things that are moving in my life, and as I reflect on what is one of the main things that's the reason why things are advancing, one of the things I looked at is the relationships that I've built over time. However, it wasn't always like this. So again, the reason why this is important is because we all have big hopes, big dreams when it comes to our finances, when it comes to our businesses and the impact that we want to have and all the things that we want to do. We cannot do it on our own, right? Let's just put that there. Like, we're not going to be able to do it on our own. So if you're trying to just do everything and trying to advance your career, business, or finances on your own, I'm just telling you, man, it's going to require, to really get to that place where you envision the level of impact, income, influence, it's not going to be on your own. It's going to require you to have some relationships. So these relationships are majorly important. So the real question is, how do you successfully build these relationships in order to build your empire, right? I'm looking to build the Ballard empire, right? The finances, the business, the career. Like, I'm looking to maximize that. And I know I can't do it on my own. But see, in the past, I've either burned other people or I've been burned because the relationship never got started on the right foot. And if you're anything like me, you may look back and realize, like, man, I probably should have never made that move when it came to that investment. Or I probably should have never made that move in terms of partnering with this person. And that's happened to me. So that's what today is about. Is how do we build successful relationships? Really and truly, how do we build business relationships that become fruitful future partnerships? That's the thing, that can become fruitful future partnerships. And so, like I said before, see, in the past, I either got burned or I burned someone else. And the core thing that is the common thread between both of those things was selfishness. And I was selfish. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Like, I was selfish. See, there was times when I would get so googly-eyed at what the end result was, how much money was going to be made, or how this partnership or this thing that we were going to do or invest in was going to benefit me. I got so selfish about what it could do for me that I got so selfish about the result for me that I overlooked the relationship. So at that point, it was like results over relationship. And as I look back, I'm like, man, every single time that I got burned on a decision, on a business decision, I can almost assure you every single time was because I looked at the results more than I looked at the relationship. And the person that I was doing the business with, we just weren't on the same page. We just weren't on the same page, right? Or in the past, I used to, we had a successful network marketing business. And I was so driven to succeed that, again, I was so caught up in the result that I would burn relationships. I would burn other people. So in the other case that I just shared with you, I got burned because I was so selfish trying to get what I wanted that I overlooked the relationship, only looked at the results. I got burned. Well, sometimes I was overlooking the results. I just wanted to sell you what I needed to sell you. I didn't care what I had to do. I just needed to sell you what it was. Didn't matter how good or bad it was. I just needed to make this quota, or I just needed to do this, get this goal at the cost of the relationship. So I ended up burning relationships over time, right? To be quite honest, that turned into some people, maybe even to this day, not picking up the phone if I call him, because they're like, he on that, he's not genuine, he's not real, And so the common thread, like I said, was selfishness. And selfishness is when we get blinded by the result, and we have a lack of awareness of some of the blind spots, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't have an interest in the result, right? Obviously, you want to make an investment, you have an interest in what it can do for you, right? But it turns into selfishness when you get blinded by other things that should really be like, hey man, like, you should pump the brakes. Hold up, let's look at who you're working with. Let's do some more research, right? Selfishness blinds you to the things that you need to be aware of to make a quality decision, right? You can have an interest. You need to have an interest in what's going on, but interest goes into selfishness when you get blinded and you just want what you want, right? And that comes at a cost sometimes. So again, the question is, how do we build healthy relationships that blossom into fruitful future partnerships? Because I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been the selfish guy who just wanted what I wanted, right? Either got burned or burned other people. But now I'm on the other side of that, to where I've learned, I've got some wisdom, right? I've learned how to build relationships that have become fruitful partnerships over time. And so, part of the problem is exactly what I just explained, is that when it comes to our business, when it comes to our careers, when it comes to our finances, when it comes to trying to build this empire, and it makes sense, we think like, what's in it for me? Like, what can you do for me? We think results based, right? But here's what I want to share with you. One of the overarching principles I want you to understand today is that we're looking at the result. How much money are we going to make? Like, what's going to be a return on my investment? Like, what's going to happen for me? What is my result? But here's what I'm here to tell you. It can't be a result issue until it's a relationship issue, right? Right? Are we in alignment? Are you and me in alignment? That's the real question, right? Yes, we have an interest in what the results are, but we can't be so focused on the result that we overlook the relationship. So one of my core values now is relationships over results, because I know if the relationship is right, well, then that will help fuel the results. But if I'm so result driven that I overlook the relationship, oftentimes the result won't even happen. Matter of fact, sometimes it'll go worse, right? So remember, it can't be a result issue until we resolve the relationship issue. Are you and me in alignment? Are we speaking the same language? And listen, sometimes, yes, we're not going to be in alignment. And the person, so I'll give you a story. Basically, I made a decision to invest in a certain product in the past. And I got very excited about what this product could do for me and my family and all the stuff. And I mean, I was sold this thing on a big scale, right? I mean, went to a high-rise office, got introduced to all of these people, all this stuff. They said it's going to cost this. And I said, okay, I mean, that's expensive, but I'm looking at the result, right? And I'm so focused on that that I failed to look at the person I was doing the business with. And it's interesting because my wife and I both kind of agree, like, we weren't really on the up and up when it came to this person, right? But we had goals and we wanted to make it move faster. We wanted to accelerate it. And instead of being patient, we started pushing, right? So instead of it really being a fit, we never were really in alignment with the person we had the relationship with that brought us to the table. Well, we ended up making the decision to move forward. And then years later, we're paying a cost for it, right? Right. So point I'm making, and now it's an issue, right? Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to get all into it. But the point is, it came to bite us in the butt because it was results over relationship. And listen, that person we weren't in alignment with, their character has always been an issue. And I don't say that to condemn the person. All I'm saying is, listen, man, if that's you, we just not in alignment. I'm not going to move forward if you and I don't see eye to eye on certain core values, on certain, just certain level of character. I'm not trying to condemn you. I'm just saying, hey, like me, we just probably shouldn't do business. We just don't see eye to eye. We don't do business together. I'm not saying I'm better than you, nothing, or are you worse than me. I'm just saying, look, we're not in alignment. I mean, that's just it, right? That's the stance I should have took back then. So before you look at the results, you gotta look at the relationship. And so we have to take our own personal responsibility that when we build these relationships. And at the end of the day, you just want, I realize that I just want to be the type of person that people want to do business with. even to take it a step further, I just want to be the type of person that someone will want to be a friend with, right? And when you come to build these relationships in this way, like somebody that you would like, I just want to be the type of person that someone would want to do business with, that someone will want to befriend, that someone will want to pick up the phone and just hear what I have to say, whether it had to deal with business or not. And when you have a come from like that, the payoff is that there's trust built between you and the person, right? You can have confidence in the partnership, and there's a higher likelihood to be able to have success in whatever you guys are doing business in. Now, that's the part that you're responsible for. It's just making sure that you come from that you are the type of person that people want to do business with. But if they're not in alignment with who you are, just, you know what, this is not going to work. It's all good. Thank you for the opportunity. However, it's just not for me. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 ways. I want to give you 3 ways of thinking when it comes to building successful business relationships, right? 3 frameworks of how to think to build relationships that you have a responsibility to do when you come to the table to build relationships that can be fruitful either immediately or at some point in the future. So, first principle is person over performance. Person over performance. What I mean by that is have a genuine interest in the person and not necessarily a performance. I saw somebody wrote a quote the other day. I think Muhammad Ali said this, something like that. He said, if I go out to eat with somebody and they treat me nice, but they treat the waiter like trash, like we can't do business together. And I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember. But like, that's it. Like, that's a personal thing, right? That person sitting across from me may perform great in what they do. They may perform at an awesome level. But as a person, if I see there's some things that we don't have alignment with, again, if we're just not in alignment, I don't know if it's going to work. I just don't know if it's going to work, right? So look at the person before you look at the performance. And maybe the performance is what brought you to the table. Hey, these are things I can do for you, da, 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 da. But when it comes down to like looking at things, look at the person, right? Person over performance. And it's not trying to judge anybody. You're just trying to make a quality decision of who you're going to be in alignment with to do business with. And if they're in alignment with you, that's cool. It's okay, right? But see if that person is in alignment with you. Don't get googly-eyed over the performance over the person, okay? Second way of thinking is service over selfishness. Service over selfishness. Come to every meeting. Matter of fact, you should get in the habit of meeting people in this way. How can I help you? Like, what do you have going on and how I can help you? The beauty behind this is whether you and the other person sitting across from you ends up doing business together then or later, when they see you have a genuine interest for what they have going on and you're trying to help them, and it's not just to ask, well, what can I do to help you, right? But really listening intently to hear what their needs and wants are and figuring out in some way the resources that you have, whether it's people, finances, connections, whatever, to be able to help them, even if it has no immediate advancement of what you got going on. I mean, dude, there's tons of times where I've sat across from people, maybe we didn't have something that was going to work out, but based on what they needed, I could give them a resource of a person that could help them get to the next level. Or maybe it's a book that they needed, or maybe it's just some advice that I've gotten that I say, hey man, maybe this can help you. Had no benefit for me, but I had a genuine interest in wanting to help that person no matter what. And when you come from a service mentality based as opposed to what can you do for me, you'll win regardless, because that person is going to perceive you like, man, this person has genuine interest. But you can't do it with the intent of trying to set yourself up for future success with them. You got to do it with a genuine interest because you really care about wanting to see them succeed. Every opportunity I have to try to meet and sit down with someone now is, how can I help you? If you can help me, that's fantastic. And we'll figure that out, right? But even if something doesn't work out for me, I want to figure out how I can help you. And that's along the lines of becoming the type of person that people would want to do business with, right? So you're just dropping seeds of future fruitful partnerships when you come from service versus selfishness. Okay. Last one is, if it don't fit, don't force it. That's the last mentality, is if it doesn't fit, don't force it. Sometimes timing is everything, man. It's just not the right time. I've literally had meetings with people and I've said, I can see us doing something in the future, right? Like, I don't know what it's going to be, but you and I are in such alignment that I can easily see us doing something together in the future. And both of us say, you know what? Yeah, I think you're right about that. And that's happened recently. Somebody I did some work with in the past. I helped them in their career. Recently, I had to call them for something else. And I'm like, you know what? This thing we're working on might be an opportunity for you and I to work together like we said we would a few years ago. Right. So sometimes the timing just isn't right, or sometimes the relation it's just not fitting. Don't force it. Either you're in alignment and it's right time and you move, or you just set an environment to have a great friendship and open relationship to just kind of check on the person. And then when the time is right, I'm telling you, it will come back around where either you're calling that person to be able to help get some business advice or do something to advance business, or they're calling you saying, hey man, I know somebody, right? So those are the three things: person over performance, service over selfishness, and if it don't fit, don't force it. Last thing I want to say is just basically, it comes down to this, and it's like what we learned in kindergarten, man. It's just treat others the way you want to be treated. Just treat others the way you want to be treated. If you're talking about scripturally, it's love others the way you love yourself. And by definition, that means if you know that and you're familiar with that, talking about love others the way you love yourself. If you're treating others bad, that means you're okay with treating yourself bad, or at least not forgiving yourself for something that person did, that if you did the same thing, you wouldn't be able to forgive yourself for. Right? So, oftentimes we'll want to condemn other people. I can't believe they did that. Right? Or we'll treat other people bad, when what that really means is that if we did the same thing, we would treat ourselves bad. We wouldn't be able to forgive ourselves for that thing. So, part of it, we got to forgive ourselves. And so the more we discover about ourselves and the more we can love ourselves and forgive ourselves, actually, the better we become in business, right? Because we become very aware of who we are and our core values, and we can see if people are in alignment with that or not. And no offense, no judgment, no, I ain't trying to condemn you. I mean, look, if we don't see eye to eye, I mean, that's cool. It's just not a fit, right? But now you're clear on who you are, what you want, and how you do business, and you can clearly be able to see if somebody's not on the same page with you, right? So what that means is look, you got to just continue to work on you. Continue to self-discover how great you are, right? Forgive yourself and then receive who it is that you truly, truly are, which is made in his image and likeness. Okay. And as you continue to do that, yes, you will be able to treat other people the way you want to be treated. You'll be able to love people like you love yourself, like you really do love yourself. And you'll be able to come to the table, not overlooking the relationship, but saying, look, there will be no results until we establish some relationship and make sure we're in alignment. All right, you guys, listen, I hope this helps. As always, again, share this information with somebody, particularly business folks. People who are looking to advance, and everybody who's listening to this, y'all all high achieving. So I know this information can help you, but share it with somebody else who can help with them, because listen, I'm sure, if you're anything like me, I'm tired of making business decisions where I overlooked the integrity of the person I was doing business with and it came back to bite me. I don't want that to happen to you. Make sure you prevent it from happening for somebody else. And listen, we'll be back next week helping you guys go from excellent to elite. See you guys later.